Yeah, for each hit die spent in this way, the player rolls the die and adds the character's constitution modifier to it.
What?
Yeah.
So this entire time, Mira and Flint could have
I
lived.
didn't realize you guys weren't doing that. I'm sorry.
I had no idea. No wonder we kept dying.
Sorry. Jesus. But anyway, okay, so does anybody remember what happened last week?
We met some mage scientists. We bullied them about them not watering their plants. We went to a castle, and then we started beating up some goblins.
And we're looking for the guy's magical gems. And we found one. I don't remember if we know how many there are to find.
I don't think a certain amount was stated. They just have a certain amount of supply, and a bunch of them were stolen. I don't know if they, the exact quantity in mind. But yes, part of the job is to recover these evocation crystals. Most recently, you fought a wave of goblins. Then you fought these goblins in strange suits that had these powerful weapons that dealt a lot of damage and carved into the walls around you. One goblin tried to trap Mar in a room that was filling with water. Went interestingly. That room is still filled with water. In order to get into that room in the first place, you guys did find a key, but that key was destroyed in the door by some mechanism that just kind of snipped it off like a guillotine. Of course, also, it cannot be understated that Tinglenuts ran away and is currently hiding in a tree outside of the dungeon.
Not hiding, he's resting. That tree's protecting him.
Okay.
Yeah, resting's important.
And of course, when Nomar was down under the water, there was a grate. Water seemed to be coming out of and also escaping through, depending on what was going on in the room. The goblins that he slaughtered mercilessly was trying to get through that grate.
Didn't one of them make it through in the end? And he sort of got flushed down it.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Flushed through and disappeared.
Because he wouldn't attack me. Bastard.
All you guys know is that Tinglenuts has run out of the dungeon entirely.
I'm going to the the stairs. Is that guy at the top of the stairs and therefore not in the water, or would I have to put him out the water?
He's sort of the water is kind of lapping at the top of the stairs, and he's sort of halfway in and out of the water.
I'm gonna go down and then pull him, or so he's fully out of the water. And then I'm going to check the suit to see if they run on these power crystals.
Give me an investigation check.
1.
Huh.
I'll help him with that. So go ahead and have advantage.
Yeah.
17.
Okay. A little bit of a cheap move, but it, otherwise the only answer is that he looks down and says, I bet this runs on those power crystals. Oh well. But yeah, no, you kind of you note that there are certain little protrusions. One on the back of the elbow on the back of the elbow of the hand that is holding that strange sort of crossbow weapon that was that they were using to shoot at you, and one much larger one on the back. With a little bit of work, able to sort of disconnect the covers of those, and indeed both of them seem to have a certain amount of these evocation crystals in them. It seems that there's a siphon on the inside that's pulling energy from said crystals. I'll say that you've also found just about 10 gold pieces that happen to be in the pockets, mostly of the unsuited goblins. The suited goblins don't seem to have much of anything on them. They just seem to be it's as though they're guards on duty. They don't have anything in their pockets that isn't related to work. And after that, you guys were going to go and try and find Tingle Nuts?
Yep.
Yeah.
This could give me an investigation check. You will find him. The investigation check will just indicate how long it takes.
That's an unnatural 20.
This guy is a tree guy, right? And he really likes trees. I bet he has found his way to some trees. They seem to be his comfy place. You find him almost immediately.
Well, as you guys are walking down the hallway back to where the horde was, you'll find Tingle Nuts there, and he'll be like, "Where'd you guys go?"
I was taking a little swim with a goblin who decided that he would rather flee than die.
Sounds like a smart goblin.
Not like you.
Anyway, we gotta go find another key, or what?
Actually, I was hoping for a light snack and something to drink. All that water made me thirsty.
I'm surprised that these goblins don't have any drink around here.
Not that you can see.
We haven't had goblin chow.
No, I only get the finest food whenever I'm in the arena.
But yeah, short rest? Anybody?
Yeah, go on. But if that guy you let get away comes up behind us and shoots us in the back, try and make it your back.
Yeah, I'll definitely, sit right here.
As you guys walk through that room with the horde in it, your feet are kind of squelching a little bit because a lot of the frozen goblins have started to thaw out, and they've started to thaw out into some kind of mush. Gross, why did I even say that? So you guys take yourselves a short rest right there?
Hey,
Okay.
if you say we can get away with a long rest.
I didn't say you could get away with a long rest, but you can decide to do whatever you want to do.
Short rest.
You might even get away with the short rest. You don't know.
I'm fine with a short rest.
And we have a pool of 10, right?
Yeah, if you're 10th level, you got 10 hit dice.
Also, remember that you have the durable feat no more. So if you roll below a 10, you get a 10. So you roll 12s, right? So if you roll a 9 or lower, it counts as a 10. Because you get double your con minimum.
All right.
Damn.
Oh, that is fantastic. All right, so I am missing 70 hit. Yeah, we'll go with that. You thought we'd be done. I'm just gonna roll 7.
It's all a question of how much longer you think things are gonna go. Okay, so you guys are back up to almost full here, huh?
Yep.
Well, with my con, I'm back to full.
So you guys are able to finish your long rest. Being where you are, Nomar, can I get I assume that you are kind of keeping on a lookout, keeping an ear on the goblin hideout?
Yes.
All right. Can I get a perception check from you?
Also, yes. 15.
Behind you, you hear occasional skittering. It's like somebody's walking through or whatever. But you don't particularly see much of anything, and you definitely don't get stabbed in the back. So.
Oh, that's... I don't know. To Nomar, that might be disappointing.
All right. What are you guys going to do now?
Once we've rested up, I imagine that we go through the corridor that we didn't investigate last.
Yep. Only ways north.
Yep.
All right, you guys head north. Right. You come across a relatively small room. Kind of smells really dank and fetid. And it seems to be filled with these massive piles of junk refuse.
Yo, is that a wagon wheel?
Sure is.
Oh no. The goblins were hoarders. And then I'm going to look through all the stuff for anything neat.
To see if they've buried any crystals in that junk pile by accident.
Okay. You guys, one of you can give me an investigation check with advantage because, a bunch of you guys are in.
How about a Tingle Nuts?
How about a Tingle Nuts?
Tingle Nuts, it's your turn to search.
Oh, God. 9.
Oh my god.
You see him searching through all the rubbish, and he's just occasionally swatting at the air and saying, "Fuck off, bastard."
No,
Get away."
you know what this is? This is that scene from Guardians of the Galaxy where Baby Groot keeps bringing back the wrong stuff.
Is this an evocation crystal? It's an old moldy towel. In looking for more of these evocation crystals, Singlenuts finds a small, shiny, white piece of rock-like material. It's very small, very shiny.
Small, shiny, rock-like material. Sounds like junk. He's just gonna toss it behind him.
You guys look as a what appears to be a human molar clatters to the floor.
Gross.
You do not find any evocation crystals, but you do find lots of interesting junk, such as a sewing needle, a perfectly good sewing needle, an abacus with only 11 remaining beads.
These evocation crystals.
No, we haven't made it there yet.
They seem to have put them on some kind of rack.
It's an evocation rack.
Ooh.
Oh, a victory counter. We have those in the arena.
There you go.
Well, we just need to put them all on one side for all the goblins we've already killed.
And you find a jar. An unbroken, sealed jar with something green inside of it.
Is that an evocation crystal?
Why don't you open it up and find out?
Singlenuts is going to throw the jar on the floor to open it up.
Right. It smashes to the ground, and immediately the room is filled with the smell of horrible rot. It's just something gross that has gone moldy inside of the jar.
I think that evocation crystal's gone bad. They left it out in the sun.
Throwing it on the floor probably doesn't do it any justice.
What about justice now?
Have you seen any other keys or anything like that while you're digging through this?
He's got to hold up the sewing needle. Is this a key?
Does it have teeth at the end of it?
No, I already threw out the tooth.
Oh, that's basically it. You find a bunch of junk.
Alright, well that was a big waste of time. As Norma starts leaving. Omar.
And start following him.
Alright, so the way I see it, we only have one way we can go, and that's through the water. Unless we want to start breaking down doors.
Very solid doors.
Yeah, we've tried that and they've rebuffed me so far. So let's go through the water.
Alright, I know where to go. Follow me. I'm gonna dive back in.
This usually ends badly.
Gonna wade into the water and then start swimming.
As you guys enter into the water, a goblin corpse just kind of floats past. All right, so Nomar, you get to about there when suddenly you can feel like a current starting to take you. There's like a small grill sort of placed up in the ceiling, and that seems to be where most of the water has been. Water came through to actually fill up this room initially in the first place, and beyond that, the water is actually sort of rushing out. You guys are immediately pulled through this wide tunnel until you guys find yourselves sort of flattened against a similar grill to the one that was previously covering the other. There's quite a lot of suction there, so it's pulling you through.
I'm gonna look for a way out.
Go ahead and give me a perception check on that.
10.
Here, as you can tell, it's just the grill itself. You can see that there's light beyond, but you can't really see much of anything.
Just try to open it then.
How do you go about trying to open that?
Fingers slip through, start pulling.
All right, you can give me a strength check.
20. Unnatural.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. I just said to myself, okay, well, the DC for this is 20. All right. So within a very brief moment, you're able to you realize that the way that this grate is sort of set in, pulling out isn't as helpful as pulling up. You're actually able to sort of like pull it up into like some sort of like little hollow up and above, and then pull the pole out. And that saves you a lot of effort that you would otherwise have to go through. It doesn't seem like the goblin that you followed out that way realized that. But yeah, no, you are able to eventually make an opening that's big enough even for more to follow through. Okay, so you've got you rise up into a basin. Among the first things that you see are two tall sections of wood that seem to be a bridge, a drawbridge of sorts that's up in two halves. One of them up against this wall right here, and one of them sort of partway into the open area that you see beyond. As you rise up into the water, in the room beyond, you can see a number of figures, and once the polygon reveal tool starts working again, it's over for you, motherfucker. Because they appear to be more of those goblin rocket boot sorts. And I am going to roll now to determine. Yeah, you can roll stealth as you guys come up out of the water.
This always ends well.
I'm not leaving the water.
You're not leaving the water. Okay, so then you don't have to roll stealth.
Just swim to like here though, and just wait.
Awesome. You're gonna do like a Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Predator. So is that a 14 and a 15?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They do not notice you.
Well, Norma was gonna just pop up, like onto land.
Nuts is going to prepare a tandem cast for when Nomar does his thing.
All right. So because Moore is in the way, Nomar's gonna kind of push off against his head and jump onto land. You know, like he's sacrificing a Yoshi. Thank you for the sound effect.
There's a little coin pop out when you jump on him.
Gonna grab the legs of the goblin in front of me and then pull him into the water with me.
Okay, so that's going to be a grapple check. I'll give you with advantage because he doesn't notice you. Although they're about to start noticing. But yeah, I call this a surprise round, basically. So.
21.
Oh, yeah. Real quick cursory, there is a 5% chance of him beating that. It does not beat that. All right, so this one is grappled.
And then I pull him into the water.
All right. So Nomar is doing what he's doing. What's your tandem cast?
They're going to hit the guy directly north with 2 Eldritch Blasts, a Chill Touch, and a Ray of Frost. 23.
23 to hit, that's a hit.
Then I will also hit him with another Eldritch Blast from the Ring Discretion of 23.
So that's 17 total damage?
17 total damage, and for 1 round he cannot heal and has minus 10 speed.
You do see that the suit seems to absorb quite a lot of the various blasts there.
Does it absorb everything?
Not everything, no.
Does it absorb everything the same though? Because there's force damage, necrotic, and cold.
It absorbs everything the same. The indication is basically that blast should have killed any goblin, but because of this evocation suit, this power suit that it is wearing, it is able to weather it better. My justification for giving them more hit points.
I gotcha.
is what I'm saying. Okay, so that's a full round for Tingle Nuts. Nomar, you just jumped up onto the ground there. Do you have any other plans beyond that?
Into people's faces.
Okay, we are again on the fucking turn order. Let's see how fast these guys are able to react. Not fast. Fuck you guys. You're supposed to be bad guys.
Nice.
All right, thanks, Mira. That's the joke now. Whenever Tiger rolls high for initiative.
I think that's the second nat 20 I've got in this one shot as well.
Yep.
Good time to get nat 20.
Second time I've gotten that 1 as well.
All right, Tingle Nuts.
Tingle Nuts is going to take a step forward, and on this guy right here, the fairy is going to activate Shenanigan.
What was he trying to cast?
Well, he was going to hit him with another rapid cast. Rapid refire.
Yeah,
rapid
gotcha.
fire. I can say words.
What's your D100 is 10? Oh, shit.
That guy gets haste.
That guy gets haste. All right, which one did you aim for? This one right here?
Yes.
All right.
The closest
he is
one that
hasted.
isn't grappled.
Ooh, does that mean he gets to hit me twice?
No, it seems likely.
Excellent. Good choice. Good choice, Tingle Nuts. Tingle Nuts Fairy.
It's a +2 to his AC, advantage on dexterity saving throws, and gains an additional action on each of its turns.
How many of shenanigans things are beneficial?
So the
Define
spread is like
beneficial.
This.
the spread is that the first 30 or so are pretty firmly in the favor of whatever your target is, and the final 40 or so are generally in your favor, and everything in between is sort of like either just kind of silly and goofy, or can be beneficial or bad for you depending on the circumstances. There's one towards the 60s that basically the space between you and the target erupts in flames, which maintain for like 5 rounds or something like that. So if there's any of your guys in between, you've done some damage. If there's not, and there's a bunch of the bad guys, it's very situational. You know what I mean? Like 30 bad, 40 good, pretty random and nonsensical or situation.
Okay.
He rolled a 10, so that's one of the worst ones. All right, that's Tingle Nuts. So you're gonna move. You stepped forward. Is there any other movement?
Oh, right, I still have a bonus action, don't I?
If you please.
I will thump the North dude whilst yelling, "God damn it, bastard." I will not thump the North dude.
You pierce his ear. It's great. He was looking to get some new piercings. Oh, thanks. I don't have to go to Claire's now.
Well, this has just been a disaster all around.
Nomar's turn, though.
These guys all have laser guns, right?
Yeah, they have laser guns, and as you watch, they're starting to unholster them, sort of in a panicked way, realizing that there's a new threat.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna take a whack at the hasted guy, because I really wanted to go after them.
Yeah, sorry.
There's no button for that in this system.
I mean, you can hold your action.
Nah.
Okay.
Well, 21 to hit that guy. Hasted guy.
21 to hit, that just barely manages to hit. You can see that he's sort of like twitching and moving about and sort of like jetting from side to side, from foot to foot with this magic that's on him.
Since you're not doing any spells, do you want to use your bonus action to do that thing that gives you your con? Holy Wrath.
Yes, Holy Wrath. Yes, I would like to do that.
Okay, go for it.
For a total of 14 damage.
Against the hasted one?
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, he's sort of like vibrating through space-time and stuff right now. He's hard to hit, and you're not sure that you did it first, but eventually you see him sort of like super fast speed recoil.
Alright, and that will end my turn.
It is the Goblin's turn. As you watch, they do indeed unholster their bizarre weapons, but they also, the ones immediately around Nomar, they also click their heels together, and as you watch, they start to rise up in the air. They will rise up to about this cavern has about a 30-foot ceiling, and they will rise up to about 10 feet.
So I'll get an attack of opportunity on that.
Yes, you can get an attack of opportunity against one of them if you please.
I will hit the guy directly to my right. Or will
Okay.
I? Yeah, that's a 20.
20 hits.
Okay. And does Holy Wrath last, or is it only for the next one?
Let me double check that.
It doesn't say it lasts, so.
Yeah, it's probably just for one attack, but that might be something I might want to clarify.
11 points of damage.
He kind of quickly, like you smack him in the leg, and he just kind of like flips over in midair, just like wow, as he rises up and away.
Got him.
Got him. I'd say that being down underneath the water more probably has partial cover, so he has a +2 to his AC. These ones that are doing it, but this one's going to take a shot at Moore. This one's going to take a shot at Tingle Nuts, and these two right here are going to take shots at Nomar. Not great. What the? Oh my God! Not one of them greater than a 10. Let's see what that gets these guys with their. Yeah, an 8 is no. There's no way that 8 is going to hit Moore, and I don't think that an 11 will hit Tingle Nuts?
No.
Okay, so yeah, no, your nuts are safe.
They're tingly.
And against Nomar, we have a 15 and a 9.
Both will hit.
Both will hit because you are currently taking damage?
I am currently allowing myself to take damage.
Okay.
Assume that until I say otherwise.
You've got it. So that makes your AC like what, a 9?
Yep.
All right, so you are going to take...
So that one guy who rolls a 9 just sees me lead into it. Like, it's going to shoot a little bit to my left, and I just shimmy in that direction.
Okay, so you're going to take 8d8 of force damage.
Roll them high.
A total of 43 damage.
Ooh.
This one down here with more, there's like a massive splash of water up above your head, more, as this beam from somewhere up above goes wide. And down below, we've got this guy struggling. He is going to try and break free from your grasp. That's not great. Okay, so yeah, you can make an opposed grapple check.
13.
You can actually do it. Hold on. Okay, he meets that. He rolled a 10. He's got a +3. Yeah, a tie means nothing. Okay. So the conditions stay the same. He's a feisty one. He is almost able to wriggle his way out of your grasp in the water, but you throw your arm up and around his shoulder, and you're able to keep him tight.
Uh-huh.
And it is now your turn.
I'm going to stab him with my free hand using my Trident of Fish command. Also, because it's a trident, it doesn't suffer a disadvantage when used in underwater combat.
Oh my god, that's clever. Wow, well done. Yeah, go for it.
So 15 to hit.
A 15 is not able to hit this guy, unfortunately. You can tell that you've sort of pierced his armor, but it sort of gets up between the armor and the skin. The armor is almost sort of like... It's like tangling the tips of this trident and preventing it from finding flesh.
Okay.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, I'm good. I'm just going to hang.
Alright. Back at the top of the round with Tingle Nuts, these guys are buzzing around with their boots. This one at the very top here, in fact, is buzzing around with boots, with rocket boots and with haste.
Quick question about that. How long does haste last?
On it, it's going to last because of shenanigan until its duration. Its duration is up to 1 minute. So, yeah, this guy is hasted.
Since these guys seem tougher than usual, I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Hex, which is a level 1 spell I got from a feat.
Okay.
I'll cast that on the northernmost guy. It's basically a curse. So there's no, like, as far as I can tell, there's no attack or save. It just happens unless they can remove the curse.
Okay.
And what that does is adds 1d6 every time I land an attack.
Okay, so 1d6 of damage every time you land an attack?
Well, 1d6 necrotic damage, yeah.
Okay, alright, every time you land an attack. Holy shit, that's OP. Okay.
And with that in mind, I'm going to rapid fire.
Alright, is the Hex a bonus action?
Yes.
A+.
So these will be a +10. So there's a 19, a 21, a 13, and a 26.
13 does not hit.
For 19 damage.
You guys all see some sort of dark magic issue forth, and then immediately after he lets loose a regular volley, and this volley seems to do more damage than it otherwise would do. This guy, there are these big punched holes in his armor, ruined flesh beyond. He is not looking great. You gonna stay where you're at?
I think Tingle Nuts will take a step back. And that's his turn.
Did you choose an ability score?
Oh, right, I forgot about that. I don't really know what to choose. What would be good?
If I may make a suggestion.
Please do.
Am I allowed, Adam?
Yeah, no, you guys can talk about stuff.
Constitution.
I mean, that seems like that's kind of what my first thought was too. I'm not gonna lie.
Then that guy has disadvantage as well on con saves.
All right. That is also. It seems to be this is a concentration spell as well. So we got to keep that in mind for if you take damage. Not that it might matter after what. I don't know. I kind of feel like James is planning something. So, yep, it is Nomar's turn.
Nomar is going to casually walk away from the goblins, push himself against the wall, kind of take in the formation, and then cast Cone of Cold.
Nice choice.
So they all need to make Constitution saves for half damage. Well, all of them except for the one that's in the water.
In the water, yeah.
DC 17.
DC 17. Okay, we got one natural 20, 116 on the die. The one at disadvantage, oof. That's a 6 total, and one that's a 14. So
39 damage to those who did not make it, and 18 for those who did. No, 19. 19 for those who did.
Okay, so the hasted one down here towards the bottom just immediately dies. One back here does not die, but that Cone of Cold really seems to have messed him up. All right, and even though he made his save, this one at the very top, that was just too much for him. The ice needles into his open wounds, and he collapses to the ground. These ones right here are up, but they are looking nasty.
All right, and then I'm going to spend the rest of my action to get underneath this one and just looking very nonchalant about everything.
I'm going to roll an intelligence check for these guys. Not great. Okay. It is their turn, and they are actually going to start buzzing off to different corners. This one is going to move upward by another 5 feet, so he's 15 feet in the air. He's going to take a shot at Tinglenut.
Heal.
This one back here is going to take a shot at Nomar and then immediately hide. All right, so again, wow, both of those they've got to hit. Okay, so that's a 22 to hit Tinglenut.
That will just make it.
And a 24 to hit Nomar.
Yep.
Tinglenuts, you take 21 points of damage from this massive blast.
Wonderful. And I need to make that concentration check.
Yep, so,
13.
all right, yeah, it hurts, but you are able to keep your hex up. Actually, no. I think the one that was hex died, didn't it?
Did, but if the target drops to 0 hit points before the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on the subsequent turn to curse a new creature.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Yeah, so you take that. Nomar, you take 23 points of damage. All right, and this one is going to zip over into the next room. And this one that just attacked Tinglenuts, or just attacked Nomar, is going to hide behind the upward drawbridge that's right here to avoid being attacked by Nomar. This one right here, seeing that its bid for freedom failed, is going to turn around and is going to take a shot with his force gun with disadvantage against Moore. Good thing that was disadvantage, because that was a natural 20. Does a 14 hit your AC?
Just misses.
Just misses. Okay. So you can feel this sort of lance out to the immediate side of you. You can actually feel like a concussion blast. It causes pain, but no damage, as he basically carves into this wall that's behind you guys. We are back to your turn, Moore.
I'm going to force the goblin that I'm grappling to go down a square. And I'm going to move into the square that he's currently occupying.
Okay, so you're going to be between him and the air. You're going to be on top of him in the water.
Yes. And then I'm going to strike him once again with my trident for 19.
19 just barely hits.
And hit him for 8 points of damage.
All right, he takes 8 points of damage. He's looking pretty rough as well. You guys will actually recognize that this is the same one that managed to escape earlier, and he is already taken some damage.
I must really hate the water now.
Yeah. Okay, it is Tinglenuts' turn.
Okay, so bonus action to transfer the hex to the guy flying above the water. And he's not in contact with the water, is he? He's just...
No, he's 10 feet above the surface of the water.
Then we will unload 4 Eldritch Blasts.
Hot damn.
Yeah, so that's an 11, 23, a 17, and a 16.
I'm afraid only the 23 hits.
That's still 12.
It's enough of a hit that it rockets him, and it sends him spinning through the air. Parts of his like rocket boots and stuff are starting to smoke, and it almost seems like his suit is losing integrity.
Tingle Nuts is gonna yell, "Stop laughing, bastard!"
He's like,
I wasn't laughing. I'm actually in a lot of pain right now.
Not you, the other bastard. And then position the drawbridge between him and the goblin.
Yep, from that position you have total cover.
Nice.
Okay, Nomar's turn.
All right. So, because I don't remember, how do I cast an action spell and a bonus action spell as a mark?
You can only ever cast one spell per turn, unless one of those spells is a cantrip,
Okay.
and that's a basic D&D rule.
Okay.
So it wouldn't cost you anything because cantrips are free for martyrs.
Okay. I'm gonna step into this room just to look at it.
What you see is a room sort of curving down towards a hallway in the south, and pointed towards the south, and this would have been a problem if you had come from that way, is another one of those evocation statues.
Neat.
The goblin seems to be heading for it.
Oh, fun. Alright, I'm gonna step back here, and then I'm gonna cast Wall of Fire, 20-foot diameter, around him, facing inward.
Okay, so I'm going to give him a 20-foot aura. So basically in a circle around him.
Yep.
20-foot radius or 20-foot diameter?
Diameter.
Diameter, okay. Important question.
And he needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
A dex save. I should have made them proficient in dex saves. They've got rocket boots, damn it. Does a 17 save?
That is exactly the number you need, so it is only 14 points of fire damage.
Oh, good. Only 14 points of fire damage. He dies screaming. He fell into a burning ring of fire.
Down, down, down.
Yeah, if he had gotten there, he was going to try and turn the statue towards this branch of the hallway.
Oh yeah, make Nomar even stronger. Anyways, 5 feet of movement. I'm gonna move here. And that is the end of my turn.
It's the goblin's turns once again. Alright, seeing the way that the wind is going, hearing the horrified death throes of his kin, this goblin is going to zip up and fly through over the top of this bridge, where there is a sparse opening into the next area.
Ooh.
He is gone from sight. The one that is underneath Moore, he is going to take another shot with his force gun there.
I do feel obligated to inform you that that was the guy who has the hex, and it lasts for up to 1 hour. It basically means that if he goes to like the next group, then the hex is going to keep going into that fight as well.
Well, I don't know that goblin is thinking that far ahead.
No, but I just felt obligated to inform you of that.
That's absolutely fine. Doesn't really change anything for me. And the one that, like I said, the one that is underneath Moore is going to try and make another shot. All right, so that's a 17 to hit.
You hit more.
For 20 points of force damage. And it is Moore's turn, because everybody else is fucking dead.
I'm going to start here with the javelin again.
The trident?
The trident, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, cool.
19.
What was it? 19? Yeah, that hits.
7 of damage.
7 points of damage, okay. You jam it into his neck, and blood clouds the water and stuff, but he is still wiggling very, very slightly. Like, say, if we were on a scale of 1 to 44, I'd say he was like at a 1. Tingle Nuts, it is your go. All of the goblins seem to be gone from the field of battle. One of them has just disappeared up into this currently inaccessible area, and all you can see from down here is a splurge of blood and bubbles coming up from the basin of water. You can see that there's a mechanism at the base of the straw bridge. Each of the individual sections is only sort of long enough to go halfway across, and the other side's mechanisms are not in view. They seem to be on the other side of that drawbridge. You can't see how to operate it from this side, but you might be able to, like, say, somebody might be able to tweak it so that this side will go down, but you'll still end up with the problem of the other side being, like, 10 feet up in the air and, inaccessible.
This would be the perfect time to get the flight from Shenanigan.
Yeah, right?
If I sit there casting Shenanigan on myself until I get flight, I'm probably going to die.
And possibly take out people along with you, yeah. The funny thing about Shenanigan is that if you cast it with yourself as the target, the whole thing flips.
How do you mean flips? Oh, the beneficial and...
Yeah. Now when you roll higher, it's bad. And when you roll lower, it's good. Generally speaking.
Yeah, Tinglenuts has just got to walk away.
Is there anything else you wanted to do?
No.
Okay. It's Nomar's turn. Nomar, there are no more.
And we didn't discover a way to bring the bridge down? Or did he not roll high enough?
You didn't discover one, but he also didn't say anything to you about what he was doing, so he just kind of left.
Yeah, I'm gonna end next to Tinglenuts. I'm pretty sure Moore's got it.
Well, let's find out, because we've just gotten to Moore's turn, and he is emboldened by this previous hit, and also on the last legs of his very life, gurglingly in the water, he is going to make another shot at you. That this time for a dirty 20.
Oh, that hits, yeah.
And you take 15 points of force damage. Rolled real low on that damage, actually. Okay, and...
Finish him.
17 hit?
I'm afraid, no, that one does not actually hit. His AC is 8.
It would be terrible if we go back and just find more floating in the water.
It's entirely possible, but that's a risk you've taken by not helping him out, so...
You don't interrupt a champion while he's fighting.
I mean, maybe he wants an audience, though.
Then he should fight in an arena. He's hiding the bad guy with his
sure.
bulk.
Blame the victim.
He's just got to jump up holding his corpse. I am the champion.
Tinglenuts and Nomar, were you planning on doing anything with an additional turn? Or are you just coming over to look at the statue?
Oh, we'll take the thing out of it if we can.
Oh, no, I was
going
to take the entire statue if I could.
Okay. So you guys start discussing what to do with this
Tinglenut starts climbing it, and Nomar just says, no. And he gets the hell out of his way.
Can Nomar pick it up?
Let the dice decide. That'll be a strength check.
What'd he do?
God damn. Okay, it takes you a little bit, but you grasp it around just like the right part. It does seem like it was only placed there. It's not, like, anchored to the floor in any way. You're able to lift it, but after a few steps, you do have to put it down. So where are you bringing it?
Would it be easier to push it then?
Well, with a statue of this height, if you push it, you're fairly likely to just knock it over. The floor is it's a cave floor. It's not very smooth.
Okay. If it's unfeasible to carry it around and use it on the bad guys, then I'll just let Tinglenuts.
I don't think it's unfeasible. It's just going to take a moment. It depends on what you want to do. You can move it, basically, is what I'm saying.
All right. Well, what I want to do is basically move it to here, however many turns that takes.
I'd say you can move it 15 feet for now, but just 15 feet this turn, because we're still technically in turn order.
And I'm being very careful not to point it at anybody.
Yeah, I figured as much, but, I don't know. I never know. All right. Thing's going to make one more attack at you. So yeah, that's a 23 to hit.
That definitely does hit.
And that's for another 20 points of force damage.
Okay.
You're still hearing explosions coming from the water behind you, Nomar. Moore's turn.
Another trident attack. 22.
Definitely hits. And you can go ahead and roll the damage for that, but he had 1 hit point left.
11.
Yeah, you just basically, like, one more stab to the neck, and this time you just, like, lift the entire head off of the body. He's dead, and for the moment, you guys are out of initiative.
When I feel him go limp because he's dead, I'm gonna stop grappling him and try and rip the crystals off. And when I've done that, I finally go onto land.
Yeah, you do that. You find seven additional evocation crystals, which I think brings your total to 54.
Nice.
If I don't see the others, I'm just going to start doing it to taking the crystals of the other people.
Yeah, sure. We'll say that you go through all of them. You find an additional 20 evocation crystals. So that brings you to 74. You do see Nomar starting to sort of like trudge into the room, dragging this statue.
Think of the Men in Black scene where Will Smith drags the table over to him. That's what it sounds like.
Yep. Yeah, there's no way you can miss it.
Watch out more. This thing is loaded.
So you're dragging it. You've brought it back into this room here. What are you guys doing now?
Now that we have time to properly look at the drawbridge, I'm going to start investigating. Staying out of the way of the statue.
Sort of peeking down underneath the water, you can see that there is sort of a mechanism that runs down along. It runs into the stonework on the other side. And you think that probably means that the actual controls for this are somewhere on the other side, probably controlled by the next room. You could probably release this side with a few well-aimed blows at the mechanism, but again, that does sort of like, that only gets you like a good like 8 feet out into the water. Right here, yeah, you're still screwed. There is a space to get over the top, and of course it is just, sort of like hurriedly lashed together wood, it seems. So there's a few things you could do there. You could try to climb it and sneak past it, or you could try to break it down. And you could try to,
How badly injured?
I took some quite big blows.
Yeah, that goblin was basically just aiming directly into your stomach with this massive force beam weapon.
Well, do we want to wait and heal, or Nomar's at half health?
I could take a break before we...
Tingle Nuts does want to forge ahead just to take advantage of the hex while it's still going.
I'd say it's
if you guys want to rest.
Nor would definitely want to rest. He's after being shot like 4 or 5 times in the stomach, point blank range.
Okay.
He's kind of pooped out.
I'm going to the statue here and lean it on myself as I'm resting so that it's pointing.
I like it. I like that quite a lot.
How tall is this statue, by the way?
A statue's about human-sized. It does seem like it was once a humanoid a statue of some humanoid paladin or something like that has had where the head has been sort of defaced and grafted onto to resemble a goblin.
While we're resting, Tingle Nuts has got to go, and he's got to run over to the goblin, the corpses, and start taking off the boots and trying to put them on himself and see if he can put the crystals back in and fly.
So the boots, you can tell, sort of connect back to that booster pack.
Can we take the booster pack?
Yeah, you can. You probably would fit into this suit because you said that you were very slight, very small.
Yeah, as small as medium could get.
Yeah, so I'd say that you're probably able to fit into it. There's no way that Moore would be able to, and I don't know if Nomar would be able to.
Nomar is wide.
Yeah, definitely so. Yeah, so during the long rest, you put on those boots. You can feel that there's some sort of like some sort of control almost on the inside of the gloves of the suit.
So using that, is he able to make himself fly?
Give me an intelligence check, a general intelligence check.
Oh, pooey. 4.
So you start messing around with the buttons, and nothing seems to be happening. And then suddenly, all at once, you take off directly into the ceiling, and you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Can we retroactively say I did that before I rolled the hit points?
Well, yeah, because this is during the long rest, and you don't really get the hit points until the end of the long rest.
Well, we're short rest.
Short rest, yeah, a rest. A rest in general, you don't get any regained hit points until the end of it. So yeah, that's totally fine. I will say that with a little bit of trial and error and working through it, and perhaps coming at it a little bit more cautiously, having learned your lesson from the rolled 4, you can probably gain a 15-foot fly speed with this on.
Awesome.
Acting conservatively. Whee!
I can fly! Ow.
Well,
Boink.
anyways, more.
Ow.
Boink.
Ow.
Nomar's trying to talk to him. When we're done, we're going to challenge the goblin. I'd call him coward, try to get...
It sounds understandable. When Moore is finished resting, he's going to stand on the side of the drawbridge and challenge them in the most vulgar Minotaur that he knows.
Your parents were regular cows.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check. You do see a head sort of peek over the top of the of this wall here, but it pops back down almost immediately, which is good because suddenly the beam from this statue lances out and just like smashes into the ceiling sort of just above it, carving out this major gouge.
So Tingly's gonna see. He's gonna see if on this side of the drawbridge if shooting the mechanisms will knock it down, and then if that works, he can fly over and do it to the other side.
Yeah, I mean, if you're using cantrips and stuff like that, you can definitely destroy the mechanism, the lock that sort of holds the bridge up, and that will crash down sort of into the center of the moat here. So yeah.
Okay. So if you turn the statue around, I'll go do that on the other side, and then I'll get the hell out of the way, and then you can run at them with the statue, or trundle very slowly with the statue.
Stay out of its line of sight. I'm going to put it at the edge of the drawbridge where it's pointing straight and won't hit Tingle Nuts up top. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. You haven't really tested it out with like vertical field of view, so I guess we'll see.
So Tingly's got to fly as high as he can and just sort of hold his hand out and very slowly edge forward, waving his hand to see if it activates.
Okay, so the roof is 30 feet right here, but this archway only goes up 10 feet. Do a little bit of math
Do
here.
you want to grab the other one?
I'm willing to say that you would not have to hit, that it would not hit you. So if you kind of test it and you probe it and you find that you can make your way to the top of this 10-foot door without it being a problem.
So Tingly's going to peek over and as fast as he can try to find the mechanism and shoot it and get out of the way before he starts getting shot.
Okay, so in that case, I'm going to ask you this if you have no shortage of time and unlimited cantrips, then it's not a question, so you were able to destroy it without rolling the first time. This time, I'm going to ask you to make an attack. You know where the mechanism is located, but yeah, go ahead and make an attack.
Should I just make the one, or should I do the full rapid?
That's on you. That's on you. You have an attack action to work with, so...
Okay, all in on the mechanism.
All right, well, see, there's
16, 21, 22, 50. 12 damage on one mechanism and 11 on the other.
Okay, so that is not quite enough to deal all of the damage you need to deal. It shudders and the whole thing sags a little bit. But you can definitely tell that there is a goblin down below who is readying a shot for anything that comes over. It sees you, and it takes its shot.
Shield reaction.
Is that?
Shield.
Okay, yeah, so you take shield. That was an 18 to hit.
That will not.
Not hit. Okay, good. All right, so yeah, you half it away with your shield reaction. And yeah, I guess we're going to do another turn and everything. So if you want to go ahead and try and hit him again, it's all good.
Ooh. 22, a 30 with a natural 20, a 26, and a 28.
Yeah, those things, they all hit.
So it's double on a... So the first mechanism takes 20 damage, the second takes...
Alright, so the first mechanism blows apart. Second mechanism, what? That's the one that took 11 points of damage the first time around?
Yeah.
Sags a little bit further, but the break still seems to be holding on to the base of.
And
Robert.
since we're playing this like a combat, can I bonus action Kathump it as well?
Go for it.
What
30,
was
20 hits.
damage for another 8
That
damage.
one, ironically, that'll do it. So, like, the last little strut that was holding the whole thing in place, you hit it with a little piece of your bark. It hits it hard enough that it just sticks in, holds there, and then the whole thing snaps. You find yourself collapsing backward.
Yeah, I literally just thought that. That's gonna slam him underwater, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You get slammed underwater, but that's okay because that means that, like if you were, for example, on the other side of it, it would be a problem. Because as soon as the drawbridge drops to the ground, or drops to moat level, do have a drawbridge for that. Not centered well, apparently. Okay, not centered. Didn't realize that before. Nomar's statue deploys and blasts at this goblin. Goblin tries to get out of the way, but rather unfortunately is blasted pretty much over here into a thin mist. I say that because there is literally no way that he could have survived that, even if he made his save. The room is open.
All right, I'm gonna just keep pushing. Aim it around the corner here. Yell, "We've got your drawbridge down. What are you gonna do about it?"
As you enter into the room, you hear a curious sound. The sound of goblinoid chanting. There does appear to be some sort of circle etched into the ground, perhaps with blood, perhaps with red paint. It is glowing.
Oh, this is why we have a ketchup.
Yes, stealing the ketchup as well.
Okay. So it's up to you guys. What do you do?
It's really up to Nomar,
Well,
because
nope.
no one can run ahead whilst he's pointing that statue there.
Yeah, if nobody's coming out, then Nomar's just gonna continue pushing.
Sort of pointing it like that way.
Yeah,
Wait,
All right.
because he can see in this direction and see that there's nothing there, so he's keeping
Yeah,
it
but he can hear the
pointed
chanting.
like
He can
this.
tell it's coming from right around the corner. Indeed, as you get there, a rather wizened elderly goblin who is also holding one of those force weapons does peek his head around the corner. He makes his reflex. He makes his dexterity saving throw as a beam lances out at him, and he only takes 11 points of damage from that. As he's chanting, he says, like, he packs his head back behind the corner there. He says,
Very clever. And you guys, you're too late. Soon, the Eat Rocks tribe will sweep across this land and take back... Well, nothing was actually stolen from us, but we feel really, really, really ground underfoot over here. So we will do what we can to deal with our feelings of inadequacy and take it out on the entirety of civilization.
You're all dead.
What?
We just killed him.
No, you didn't kill him.
No, everybody we've already
Oh.
killed.
so I'm gonna throw the corpse onto the circle because more fear is that he might accidentally get trapped by it.
You throw it into the circle and nothing seems to happen.
Hey, goblin guy.
Should be
What
safe.
happens if this circle gets disturbed?
You cannot disturb me more than I have already been disturbed.
I'm going to push and scrape the statue all over the circle.
It does not come up or come out, and the magical glow seems to continue. And indeed, as you stand there, it seems to come to something of a crescendo. I think that it's time for another initiative. As this magic seems to crescendo, this sort of wind starts swirling around and picking things up. It's very Goku charging an attack.
Oh, well, we got like 5 episodes.
Did you just take those past natural ones and give up?
What?
He rolled 1d0 plus 1.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I'm like, wait a second. How do you get a 0? Oh my god, that's funny.
More leans into his
No, I got a
fate.
bit over happy typing and forgot to put the 2. But yeah, no, I was expecting to get a another 1.
All right, is everybody in then? Oh, but that's not a 6. That's 6 was from the previous. Okay. as you guys look on, you suddenly hear like sort of like a shrieking cry coming from this doorway over here in the back, as suddenly goblins, not seemingly of their own volition, start being dragged out towards this circle by whatever magics are happening right now. So they're actually flying out in a line and sort of piling up on this circle as though being drawn by some mystical telekinetic force.
That first one's gonna get hit by a...
Definitely, yeah. Although...
Did we figure out the recharge time on this statue?
It would seem to have been from past encounters once per round.
Okay.
So I don't know that it would have recharged yet. I tell you what, I'll give it its own initiative. It'll be a +0 initiative, but let's see what it lands on. Okay, so that's a 7. So once we get to 7, it's going to go ahead and take its there.
Man, should really have been playing a character of shit like...
Well, I gave you guys a lot of tools to work with, and I was very interested to see what would happen. I'm glad somebody thought to put on the rocket boots. Okay, so that's what happens on the star. More. There's a limited amount you can do without getting in the way of this statue, although, given that it has goblins immediately before you, it might be like... That might be how it works. But it is your turn.
Is it angled, like, at the goblins, or, like, more diagonal?
I think it was aimed diagonally because he was aiming it around this corner. So at the moment, I think it's not aimed directly towards the goblins. However, the goblins are piling up directly in front of it. So you're probably safe. You would judge from the situation that you're probably safe. Also, this detritus right here, this is difficult terrain.
Okay, I'm going to go into a spectacle.
Spectacle, okay. You gonna stamp your hoofs and do your thing?
Yeah. Raise my blood-soaked trident and shake it about to prove that I am the true fishing king. And then I'm going to go diagonal, so that's 10 foot of movement, 20 foot of movement,
Okay.
30. Another step, so I'm out of, hopefully, his range. And then I'm going to attack the goblin directly in front of me.
You attack the leader or one of the...
We'll go after the leader.
Yeah.
23.
Definitely hits.
14 damage.
Hell yeah, you just obliterate him. He was not much more than your average. Actually, you don't obliterate him by much. But yeah, you definitely do manage to kill him. A small book that he was holding sort of flops to the ground, as well as a handful of evocation crystals. However, immediately you can tell that the ritual behind you has not stopped. It seems to have hit a point of no return.
That's fine. I am going to thumbs down his kill and make it like turn and flick his blood from the trident onto all of the goblins. So they need to make a wisdom saving throw.
All of the goblins need to make a wisdom saving throw. Okay. I'll see you in about half an hour. All right.
Any goblin that can see me currently.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see. They need to make a wisdom saving throw. Their wisdom is not great. Leave it -1. That's a 18. Yeah, none of them make it. They are all scared, but there also doesn't seem to be anything that they can do about it.
And then I'm going to rotate and extra attack the one directly north of me.
Okay. So you catch one of them as they are flying through the air. Oh god. Yeah.
I'm guessing that hits.
Oh yeah, no, that definitely hits, yeah.
For 17 damage.
Yeah, so you basically just like reach out and pluck one of them out of the air as it's being dragged by this strange force into the thing, into the circle on the ground. Yeah, so you just pluck it out and you're just like, and you just kind of shake it off onto the ground down here. But more of them seem to be coming through.
That's fine. I also gain a bit of an ego because I've now killed 2 of them.
Yeah. All right, so you basically have one advantage that you use as you please. Nomar, not received any damage. It's very disappointing.
Yeah. What kind of action would you say is me turning this thing straight ahead of the?
I would be willing to give that a it requires a decent amount of effort. What's your strength at? 16. Oh, you got a decent amount of strength. I'll say that it's pretty much it's an action, but it's not like a full round thing. So if you have any bonus actions that you want to take, bonus action cantrips or something, that's totally a cool thing you can do.
Nah, but I am gonna step to
Okay.
get to.
Yeah. You feel a strange tingling sensation, as if you're being slightly pulled in the direction of the center of this mystical circle. But beyond that, there are no other effects. You are able to step away from it without a problem.
Any kind of check we can make on them? Figure out what's going
Arcana.
on?
You can tell for certain that it's not really conjuration. Like, it's not like somebody trying to make a portal to somewhere else. It's not a summoning circle. But what it's...
Are we gonna take all of these goblins and mega
certainly
goblin?
don't know. Maybe that's the case. Writes
Okay.
things down furiously. No, I'm just kidding.
That
Okay,
is-
and we have reached Tingle Nut.
I got slightly distracted by an email there. Am I understanding right? These goblins coming from a separate room and running into that circle.
They are not running into it. They are almost being dragged by some sort of unseen supernatural force, almost kicking and screaming into the center where they are beginning to pile up.
Okay, well, unfortunately for that guy right there, he's within 15 feet. So,
Okay.
bastard cast shenanigan.
Well done, bastard.
25.
25, that's one of the low ones. Sorry, I really, really like shenanigan. It might be the entire best thing that has come out of,
Oh, crap.
what does it say?
Reach out and touch someone, you teleport to a place within 5 feet of the target.
Okay, so you are now standing on top of a pile of detritus. You are now, it's sort of like right in the middle of that section of difficult terrain. There's not a whole lot of spaces available and everything. The way I had it in mind for that one is that you would basically roll a d8 and take, starting from the top left corner, count like around it in a clockwise fashion to determine what space it is. But there's not really a whole lot of spaces available, so I just picked one.
Well, since he still has movement left, Tingly's gonna fly the fuck up out of there.
Yes, with his rocket boots. All right. The ceiling of this chamber is also is about 25 feet. So bear that in mind as you're flying around with your rocket boots.
How does diagonal movement work whilst flying?
It's geometry. Just consider it to be like a cubic thing. You can still move diagonally, and it counts as one space. All right, so you're gonna move.
He'll just go down here and hide behind
Very cool.
Moore's
All right.
head. It's flying.
Okay. Oh, I somehow skipped past the statue, who is going to basically just obliterate one of these guys. Pretty sure he's going to obliterate. They don't have the capacity. Yeah, he does full damage. Yeah, so this single target right here. Actually, no. Like there's a bunch of targets. Goblins start falling off left and right in flames. Well, it's force damage, but physics happens. So these goblins are littering the ground with their corpses, but more of them are still coming in from the other room. And
Does this do damage in a line?
it does do damage in a line.
Oh, for some reason I thought it was single target because we've only ever.
Well,
seen it work out.
only one person has ever been in front of it at a single time.
Yup.
So the floor is now littered with the destroyed shells of former goblins. More of them come in. There is, of course, a pile there. And as we reach that turn, suddenly this pile of goblins, the goblins heading in the other room start to stand. There are now dozens of goblins that were not hit by that line in the very center of that. It's gonna move that. Suddenly they rise up, and they seem to take form as this massive humanoid goblin construct rises up. It raises a fist. The goblins, by the way, do not seem pleased by this. They are terrified. They are not within their own control here. This squat, tall-shaped goblin golem smashes the statue, knocking it asunder, and a single evocation crystal goes sort of clacking across the ground over this way. And check its all right. It is going to make an additional slam. That was one slam attack. It is going to make another slam attack against one of you guys. Let's find out which. Okay. Oh, all right. That's a 30 to hit Yeah, well, I mean,
I
it's
accept.
gonna be Nomar. Yeah, like I'm looking at the map, like, oh yeah, he didn't really have the option to not hit. He's only got 5-foot range. All right, so that is 3d8 plus 7 damage. That's only 16 points of damage. 16 points of bludgeoning damage. And as it hits you, you come within very close distance of many sharp teeth, goblin faces. You take an additional. Yep. Yeah, you take an additional 7 points of piercing damage as these goblin faces, panicked, start biting and gnashing out at you. We have hit Moore's
I
turn.
need to get one of those things at Crackmo.
Yeah. This guy's a homebrew that I've always wanted to use.
Take a step north, I guess. And then I'm going to throw a javelin into it.
Okay.
Oh, 18.
18 definitely hits. This thing does not have much in the way of armor, and it is, of course, enormous. Okay. So you are rewarded with a rather nasty sort of a squeal as you impale one of the goblins in the center of this thing, and grievously injure another.
I throw my second javelin.
Gotcha. Is that like a bonus action?
Past level 5, I get 2 attacks.
Right. Forgot about that. Okay. You can tell that I'm not really dealing with past level 5 lately. Oh yeah, 23 definitely hits. I don't think it's possible for you to actually... Wait, what hits?
I was going to say, like, at 13 I get a third attack as well. But we don't have to worry about that yet. 14 damage.
Alright, yeah, you skewer another couple of goblins. It does not seem perturbed. Okay. Nomar's turn.
Alright, so I will cast another wall of fire. This one directly behind it, with only one way to go, is towards me.
Fantastic.
So I need a
It
dex.
is probably not going to do too well. It is a massive construct. Oh, actually, that's not bad.
How not
17.
bad. Yep, that is exactly what you need. You only take 13 points of damage.
Okay. Say that just because he was kind of already lumbering away from it anyway. Only take how much damage?
13.
13 points of damage. Lucky 13. Okay. Oh, I should have pointed out that when Moore made his attacks, they didn't seem like they... yeah, like I said, it killed individual goblins within it, but it did not seem that the golem itself is particularly reacting to that kind of damage. Okay. Yeah, just important to note. And I believe we have reached... did you want to move or anything, or are you absolutely happy right where you are?
Well, that's...
Yeah, you're absolutely happy. Okay, Tingle Nuts.
Okay, so I have a question about True Strike. It says that you cast it on your turn, and then you gain advantage on the first attack on your next turn. If I quicken True Strike, does that still only apply to the next turn, or would it happen on the turn that it's quick?
Double check the quickening rules. The quickening.
Because it only says that it turns it into a bonus action, normal action.
Yeah, see, it turns it into a bonus action cast. That doesn't change the duration of the spell.
Okay, so it still applies at next
Just
turn.
the casting time. Just the casting time.
And would it be an action to roll some kind of knowledge check on this thing?
I would say a knowledge check, probably not. This would be like sort of like what immediately comes to mind upon seeing it. Like, if you see a coyote, do you know enough to know, hey, that's a coyote, or do you say like, oh, look at that cute dog, you know? So no, I'd give that to you for free. I would say that the DC is probably higher than if you had time to ruminate on it, though.
Would that be an Arcana check or a religion?
It would be Arcana.
Or a 14?
All you can tell is that this is some sort of... you're pretty sure that you've never seen anything like this. You're pretty sure that this is some sort of new magic. Glancing around at sort of the evocation crystals that this guy was using, you think he was experimenting with sort of the raw power of these crystals, and that this somehow has come from that.
So I wouldn't be able to figure out specifically if it might be immune to sneak attacks.
This is giving you construct feels, and I'd say with a 14, you'd probably know about constructs. No, actually, are constructs immune to sneak attack damage? I will say it's hard to say.
Well, I'm assuming this is going to be the last fight, so... It's all
Why not
I've
go
got.
all in?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. But the problem with that is that Bastard sort of sees this as a new thing, and it's within 15 feet.
Sure. Okay.
So shenanigan? Fuck yes!
What'd you get?
98.
98? Oh, fuck yeah. Okay. Let's see what we got.
I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be 99. I got them mixed up.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah. The target takes 1d10 times your proficiency bonus, necrotic damage.
Ooh.
Times. What's your proficiency? Your guys are at level 10. It should be what?
I think it's
4?
4. Yeah.
So he takes 4d10 necrotic damage.
That's still not too bad. 21 necrotic damage.
1 point necrotic damage. Okay.
And tingle
Yeah,
nuts.
some of the
Go for it.
yeah, so several of the goblins just sort of like blacken and twist to these like corpse-like husk stuff and go limp. The ones that are next to these ones are horrified.
I was really hoping that would have been them, because I'd have done some shit with that 99.
Self-actualization, you may select the effect of your choice from this list.
So what I'd have done is I'd have chosen 91, which is twinning, which gives you an exact duplicate of yourself, which you control.
Katie rolled that not a couple of sessions ago with hers. It was quite fun. I love the caveat at the end, which is that if the original you dies while that one's still on the field, the copy becomes the new you and becomes permanent. So, I mean, I feel like maybe if you're playing an evil character or one that's not particularly, I don't know, like one that's learned about it, you might run into the risk that it would attack you to try and become the real you so it doesn't disappear. But, you know.
And of course, the trouble with 2 tinglies is that there'd be 2 bastards as well.
Maybe.
But with the rest of his turn, Tingle Nuts will quicken True Strike and prepare.
Okay, cool. All right. Goblin Golem. Okay. The Goblin Golem is going to make 1 smash at Nomar for a 29 to hit. Oh, that's a bummer. All right, so you take only... Wow, okay, that's a bummer too. You take 10 points of bludgeoning... Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta add thing to it. Oh, plus 7. Okay, so 17 points of bludgeoning damage and an additional 4 points of piercing as a single goblin is able to just kind of like gouge at your shoulder on the way past.
Okay, so that counts as 2 different sources from for concentration.
Suppose it would, yeah.
All right, and that's a 10. I have Warcaster, so advantage on Constitution saving throws. Okay. My Constitution saving throw is 10. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, you're good.
Didn't even need advantage.
Yep. You said it was 2 separate sources.
Yep.
Okay.
And if he ends his turn within 10 feet of the wall of fire, dex save.
Well, he's not ended his turn yet, because what he's going to do next is attempt to grapple you. Well, actually, no. You know what? He can't do that because multi-attack does not cover that, so he's just going to try and hit you again. Okay.
Sweet.
It's just occurred to me, like, oh yeah, he can't do that. He's gonna, yeah, I have a whole thing. Yeah, so that's another 29 to hit. Holy shit. Okay, we made up for it on that one for 29 points of bludgeoning damage. And 12 points of piercing. He almost seems like he's trying to like smack at you, so numerous goblin faces come into contact with you and are able to bite you.
Sweet. So 15 or 14, make it. Second one, make it. While the fire's still up.
Alrighty. And what was that about him ending his turn? He needs to make a save, yes?
Yes.
That one actually that's a 19 on the die. That's gonna make it.
So he'll take 7
okay,
fire.
Take 7 fire. Alright, he is going to step up, plant a foot on the boulders right here, sort of squashing one of the dead goblins under his foot, and he's going to kind of move away.
He is still within 10 feet, so he still takes it.
Yeah, he still takes it, yeah. But he's advancing a little bit. Anything else here? Yeah. Okay. Oh, I also forgot that he totally has advantage against that, but it doesn't matter. He passed anyway. And it is Moore's turn. The goblin golem looms over you.
I think it's time to make it look good. So could I have the target's hit die?
Yes, the target's hit die is a D. The hit die. Pretty sure it's a D12, but no, that's a. Oh goodness, it's got to be a D12. Yeah, it's D12.
Cool. So I'm going to stab it with the trident of Fish Command.
Fish command, which is a magical trident. Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Does a
Hell
20...
yeah! Absolutely. Oh, come on! Oh, that blows! A 2 and a 1 on the damage die. Oh.
That's some
But it definitely
virus
hits.
luck, that is.
Yeah, and it's almost like a wave of magic that comes with attacking with this trident, and suddenly it does seem to take the normal amount of damage.
Sweet. In which case I'm going to stab it again
Yeah.
with the trident. And hopefully get some of that. Does a 16 hit?
16 still hits. I don't even think you actually need to roll. Well, no, you need to roll to see if you're going to get a nat 1, because a nat 1 is just a miss. But, yeah, that hits.
22.
Brilliant, brilliant. Okay. He is definitely, like, goblins are actually starting to drop off of dead ones, of course. He seems to be losing some integrity.
And then I'm going to step back in between Tingle Knots and Gnaw.
Very nice. And it is Nomar's turn. Nomar, you took a lot of damage.
I did, and I'm going to try to take a little bit more as I step out of it.
You're shoring it up. That's great. Okay, yeah, he is definitely going to take an attack of opportunity. That is a 28.
Yup.
Yep, that's gonna. Okay, so that's 13 points of 13 points of bludgeoning, and 4 points of piercing.
Right? The lowest he is.
And
ever.
probably among the most that he's ever taken, most damage he's ever taken in a turn. So I expect a pretty big turnout.
Yes. Divine Justice.
Oh, you're just gonna throw it right back at him.
27 to take 79 points of damage.
He takes 79 points of damage. Nicely done.
I give him the finger guns.
Yeah, and that comes out as radiant, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you're just blasting goblins right off of him. Numerous goblins kind of like splatter into the walls behind this thing. It is not dead, but it is starting to like shake. Like whereas before it was a tightly compact ball of goblin, it is now it's like almost like they're very loosely sort of ragdolling around as it moves and turns to face you. Anything else you wanted to do?
Nope, that is good.
Okay. All right. Here we are with Tingle Nuts.
So I still have 4 uses of meta magic. Does empowered?
Okay.
Am I reading empowered right? That when I roll damage die, if I don't like it, I can just pick a new one.
I believe that's correct. I'll double check as you do that, and I'll correct you if you need it.
And I also have 5 uses left today of Clear Shot from the Phlegmatic Humor, which adds 2d6 of damage as sneak attack damage if it goes through.
Okay, yeah, so by the way, I was looking that up. I wanted to double check because, again, I have Pathfinder 2, and 3.5 in my head. But, yeah, sneak attack does affect constructs in 5e.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and with a 14, I feel like you probably would know that. You'd be willing to you'd be able to make an educated guess.
Then with True Strike still active,
Okay.
I am going to tandem cast 4 Eldritch Blasts, potentially empowered, all with Clear Shot for a 28.
Hell yeah.
I'm
Okay.
gonna re-roll those first 3.
What a
What
fucking...
about that last one?
So
Okay, so
take
you
away 10.
and add 25. A plus. Okay. So that brings it to 60. Oh god. 69
69.
points.
Tingle Nut does 69 damage.
Okay. It takes this massive blast, and then it starts to. It looks like it's getting ready to like attack you guys again, but then it starts to shimmy and break. Is like little pops of magic come from around it. It seems like the curse is almost breaking. The magical circle on the ground starts to pop and fizzle and flicker, and suddenly there's this massive explosion as the goblins fly every which way, and this whole thing just dissipates and shudders to the ground. I would say that everybody is pushed back 10 feet. There's this echoing explosion that almost seems to rend time and space itself. It seems to echo through the very plane of existence as the magic circle goes dark and goblins patter dead and in pieces across the floor. And Tinglenuts.
While that's happening, Tinglenuts will use a bonus action to ka-thump and just hit the wall. Ow, I got it!
Tinglenuts, as this explosion occurs, you hear on the periphery, the very end, like the furthest reach of your capacity to hear anything, a very tiny scream.
Very tiny
and there,
scream. Do I recognize?
A very tiny scream.
Do I recognize that scream?
It does indeed sound familiar, and a very tiny flash occurs, and popping out of the air within about 5 feet of you is the very tiny form of a crumpled, destroyed green fairy. Just plops to the ground out of the folds of space-time, damply to the floor.
He's going to pick it up by the leg and just
dangles.
Stare at it, and he's just going to keep staring. I think they did it. He said he was going to kill it. I think he did it. One of the goblins, he was my friend, and then I don't really know what happened, but he kind of exploded. He said he'd kill her, and he did it.
You don't have to bother the mages about your fairy anymore.
Nuts is going to spin her around in his hand at the wall, and then fly around singing, "Ding dong, the witch is dead, the witch is dead, the witch is dead."
Well, good on you, Tingle Lad, that fairy that
I told you she was real.
And for the
You
record,
just
I
said
always...
you didn't.
No, that was the fairy.
Fuck.
Anyway.
Oh, that's good. I assume that flame wall is gone now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Fly Cheese.
I'm going to go behind the statue and try and take the crystal out of it now that it is not useful to anyone.
You actually see that the crystal has come out of it and is lying on the floor a short distance away, but yeah, you're able to collect that. Okay.
Tip over the statue.
What's that?
Also, I just want to tip over the statue if it's not already tipped.
Oh,
just
yeah.
to make sure that it can't get up and fight us again.
Yeah, fair enough.
You
I never do know.
Out of character, I was very worried that the statue was going to become like its arm or something.
Oh, that would have been great. But no, the whole spell it is a statue, is the thing. And the spell was specifically, one of the things you could have figured out was that it's specifically geared towards goblins. Like, as you walked through it, there was a little bit of a tug, but, like, you were able to escape it. The other goblins, the goblins were not. If you had a goblin in your party, that might have become a problem. But yeah. Alright, so you round, Nomar rounds the corner into this room, and sees sort of like a really messy bedchamber filled with bedrolls, filthy and disgusting smelling. A single goblin seems to be, like, staring at a treasure chest, in the back. It turns around and sees you and goes like,
hello. Well, you have passed many trials of the Eatsrocks tribe. Please, kindly step up and take your prize. Yeah.
Check it for traps. Oh no, that's supposed to be a 4, but that's still a 5. But yeah, I'm gonna open it.
This guy is trying to trap you. This thing is definitely trapped. You can tell.
All right, open it.
Yes, certainly, King. I will happily.
And he opens it for you. Inside, you could see a smattering of gold coins as well as an absurd amount of these evocation crystals.
All right, bring it along.
Bring it with you. Bring it. Come with you. Okay, yeah, no, I've got it.
He grabs a corner of the treasure chest and happily starts. He's like, I'm bringing it.
Yeah, I'm bringing it along. This is part of the services. Yeah.
Starts dragging it out.
When the goblin comes out, Tingly's got to shout, "You killed bastard!" and run up and hug him.
Oh God. Sure. Yeah. Hey, happy to help.
Okay. So with your prize, you guys return to town?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So within the contents of the chest, there's about 200 golds worth in coin. I'm not going to get down into the individual denomination, as well as some jewels that you were able to get appraised at being about 50 gold pieces. And in addition to that, the Institute pays you 5 gold pieces for every evocation crystal that you were able to bring back. Now, there's some 120 within treasure chest. And let's see, how many were you able to get from? I believe it was 75 that you had previously culled from the others.
75 as well.
Yeah,
75.
75.
Including the
additional
ones
one
from the
from
guy performing the ritual.
No, I don't believe it was. So let's see, 75 plus 120 is 95, plus 14 that you find from examining that guy is 100 and... Yeah, I think that's correct. 209. So 209 times 5 out loud.
That is quite a lot of
That's
crystal.
quite a lot of gold. So that's 1,045 on top of 250 gold that was just from the chest. So it's 1,245 gold, you guys. And that besides, you seem to have acquired a goblin footman.
Yes,
Acquired, who is absolutely firm in his assertion that this was just a trial for you heroes, and that he is happy to follow such good and bold heroes in the world. Tinglenuts, you find that
Bastard 2.
Yeah, his name is Bastard 2 now.
Like, yes, that's so much better than my old name, Steven. Who wants that name?
Yes. Steven is a terrible. I'm glad it's
and he happily follows you and does for you, and you guys have more than enough gold to get out of this garbagey little backwoods town and get to yourself back to some real adventure. And that is Goblin Hideout, but you're level 10.
Sorry, I would like to thank Tiger for all of his work on Nomar.
It was blessed. I'm sorry to make you a dwarf again, but the idea came to me. I had to.
We spent all that time talking about the Kanan Fadas and making jokes about that. How could you not?
Exactly.
That was so perfect. It worked out really well.